Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to be here. This is my first YouTube tutorial. Let's just hope that we can stay connected. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. So right now I'm just filling in my brow. I don't do much. I just outline starting with the bottom first, checking to see where it should start and stop. This trick really helps so that it don't overdraw your brow and that it fits naturally between the eye socket. Now I'm just blending that out with my spoolie. Then I'm taking my Magic eyebrow pomade in the shade dark brown, and I'm just going to fill in the brows using light strokes. This gives the brow a very natural appearance, so you would see the mini strokes that mimic real hair, and then I just use that. I try not to darken it too much because I want the brows to look as natural as possible. Next, I'm taking my Lagirl Pro Concealer in the shade Chestnut, and I'm going to use that to clean up the brow. So I take a little bit on a flat concealer brush and I clean up under my brow, taking my time as I go along and really get that sharp edge that we want. I'm just blending it out at the bottom as you go. And I'm just carrying that concealer down a little bit and blending it out, blending it downward. Next, I'm taking my concealer buffer brush and just buffing out that concealer, making sure that it's evenly buffed out. You see how clean underneath the brow looks? And I'm taking the spoolie again and blending it out to give a faded appearance. This is to ensure that the brow doesn't look very square at the front. I'm taking some concealer and going above just to give that highlighted look. I'm using the same concealer. A lot of people are against using the same concealer both at the bottom and the top, but if you really blend it out properly, it does not show, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on in the video. And using that same concealer buffer brush and blending it out. Blend, blend, blend. You see you have the perfect eyebrow. I'm clearly satisfied with it, right? Just extending the brow tail a little bit and buffing out the front of the brow a little bit more for my liking. To my favorite part, we're taking a Plouise base in shade number 3, and we're just gonna use this to prime our eyes. Taking a flat concealer brush by Dewy, and we're just going to pat that in. And then we're gonna just buff it out a little bit. You know, they say you're not supposed to really blend this piece out, but I do it because it gives me a much better eyeshadow application. Now, this is my opinion. Everybody is entitled to theirs, so you do whatever is best for you. Now I'm taking my Juvias Play palettes in the Zulu and Doucee, and I'm taking the Zulu palette first to use as my base color. I'm going to be taking the brown shade, the yellow shade, and the orange shade and mixing them to get my base. I'm just applying it with a fluffy rounded brush. And just continue watching. Now I'm going back into my Plouise base in shade number 3, and we're going to cut that crease. Yes, we're going to cut that crease. So now I'm taking my Plouise base in the shade number 3, and I'm just carving off my cut crease. I'm trying to identify exactly where I should take the brush, or how high I should take the brush up. So I'm using my AOA flat shader brush. I can't remember the exact number of it, but I'll link it in the description for you guys. So I'm just ensuring that the two sides are even now. Cutting out that crease on the left side. I'm just patting it in to ensure that it sets. You're not really supposed to set this base, but that's just my way of ensuring that it doesn't crease at all. I'm satisfied. I'm looking for my Juvias Place Doucee palette. There we go. I'm taking the brownish shade and just tapping that in to my crease to blend out that area where the cut crease ended, so to ensure that there's no lines of demarcation. I'm doing it on the other side as well. Make sure that it's really blended in properly. Definitely don't want to see that line but where we stopped cutting the crease. I really like to take my time here. Just blending it out to ensure that it's not very harsh. The trick with this whole eyeshadow game is you definitely have to keep blending to ensure that the shadows are smooth and seamless. Taking the Doucee palette again, taking that brown shade and just deepening the outer corner of my eye. We want to add some dimension here. So that is why we took that deep dark brown color. I'm pressing that brush into that because I want the color payoff to show a little bit better. Just continue watching, guys. So I went back into the first palette, which was the Zulu palette with the orange and the brown, and I just deepen in my crease color a little bit. You can definitely see the difference now, right? Now I'm back into this Doucee palette, and I'm taking the light blush pink shade and I'm tapping that onto my lid. The tapping motion helps give the color payoff smoother. Taking that blush pink shade on the other side and tapping it in, making sure that everything is even on both sides. Going back into it on the other side as well to deepen the shade. I really want to get that color because it's a soft pink. You definitely have to put more so that it would show. And I'm back into the brown to just deepen the corner of my eyes. And just blend. So I'm back into the Doucee palette, taking that kind of purplish pink shimmer color to put into my inner tear duct. It's going to really give this look, that pop that we want. It's subtle, but it's really opening up the eyes, as you can see. So just taking a flat shader brush and just tapping that into the inner tear duct. Taking the Sacha eyeliner now. I'm just gonna take our time and apply the eyeliner, starting from the inside corner of our eyes going outward. This technique works better for me because I have a lot more control rather than if I start from the outside, but really and truly it can go from either side. It's however you're comfortable applying it. So we're now going into foundation. I'm taking my black opal true color pore perfecting liquid foundation in the shade black walnut. This one is the closest to my skin tone, and I really like this foundation because it's really easy to blend and it lasts all day, especially when you use a good primer. I'd recommend the Ruby Kisses poreless primer. So I apply some on one side of my face first so that I can ensure that it's blended properly, and then I apply to the other side. I'm taking a flat buffer brush and just blending everything out. Making sure I get each corner. So I'm just ensuring that everything is completely blended out all the way up to my forehead, because honey, that is not cute when you miss some spots. Like, you're gonna look like you have on a literal mask if you don't get that. Taking my Lagirl Pro Concealer in the shade Chestnut and applying it, give myself some highlight. blending it out. Using it to just blend out my concealer. I really love this brush because it blends out the concealer perfectly without leaving any harsh lines or anything like that. This brush is my go-to brush. I'm just blending. I'm looking up to ensure that I don't get any creasing on. Now I'm applying my Sacha buttercup powder to set that concealer. You definitely want to do this as quickly as possible to ensure that the concealer doesn't crack. So I'm just applying that concealer. I don't bake. I'm satisfied. Going into my Doucee palette, taking that same dark brown that we use for our eyeshadow, and I'm going to show you a trick. I use it as a contour shade. It's deep enough to just give my face back some dimension without me having to use the liquids, because I really don't like the harsh contour look. So this does the trick well enough for me. Just taking a little bit of powder and just accentuating the contour. Taking my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW50, and I'm just blending everything in. This is my favorite powder, I must say. I've had this powder for a year and a half and it has not finished. I could recommend this powder to anybody if you're looking for something that can outlast the cheaper products that you'd have to probably be purchasing every 2 months or so. This is gonna last you forever, literally. And you all saw how much I still had remaining, right? It's crazy, but I love it. I'm using that same powder to put some dimension back into my nose. I use that as a light contour color for my nose. I definitely don't like the harsh contour. So this definitely just does the trick well enough for me. And I'm taking my Pretty Vulgar blush, applying it to my cheekbones. I got that blush in a BoxyCharm subscription box. Oh Lord, I'm giving my sister so much. It is something she's telling me. Gotta love them, right? So I'm just applying that blush. And I'm taking my Missy Lynn palette from BH Cosmetics, and I'm using the 2 baked eyeshadows as my highlight. I've been using this for years, guys. It is my go-to highlighter for now, except when I'm feeling fancy and I need to use my Fenty, like, yeah. So now now we're taking a Sacha eyeliner to line our lower lash line. Now we're going back into our Zulu palette and we're taking that brown, yellow and orange color with a little bit of pink for our lower lash line. I'm just gonna buff that in. Really just take your time. You don't want to get the shadow in your eyes, so you really just want to take your time and just blend it out. So we're going back into the Doucee palette right now in a tear duct, just to bring back what may have been lost while we were highlighting and contouring. Now we're going to apply our eyelashes, taking some eyelash glue, putting it on the back of our hand and using a tweezer to apply the glue to the eyelash and then the eyelash to our eyes, starting from the center first, which you'll see shortly. It starts in the center, then inside first, then outside. That's my technique for applying eyelashes. Works every time. It takes a bit of practice, but you definitely can do it. Just keep trying. Now to apply the other side. Same technique, works every time. Easy as 1, 2, 3, right? Now we're taking the same eyebrow pencil that we used for our brows and we're just gonna line our lips a little bit. This is the technique I usually use when I'm going for very neutral lips. So I usually do this like if I'm just gonna put gloss only. And that is exactly what I'm doing for this very soft blush look. Using my Fenty gloss. Just applying that over my lips. This is my favorite gloss, guys. Love, love, love everything about it. This is basically what I wear every day when I'm not feeling fancy. I'm just applying some highlighter again to my nose, and yeah, that's it. Just doing a double check of everything, untying my headscarf to reveal my edges, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and see you again in my next video. Bye.